I'm sure you've heard the news. But what if I told you that the story unfolding beneath Antarctica's frozen surface is far more dramatic, mysterious, and consequential than anything you've seen in the headlines? Antarctica, the coldest, driest, and most remote continent on Earth, has always been a place of intrigue and scientific wonder. For centuries, it's been shrouded in myth and legend, a land of endless ice, howling winds, and secrets locked away beneath miles of snow. But now, a new chapter is being written, one that could have profound implications for every person on the planet. Scientists just found something shocking seeping from under Antarctica's ocean. Imagine a team of researchers, bundled in thick parkas, braving sub-zero temperatures and blinding blizzards, peering through the ice with advanced sonar and submersibles. What they discovered wasn't just another crack in the ice or a routine shift in the landscape. Instead, they detected a strange, persistent signal, a plume of material rising from the ocean floor, deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelf. At first, they thought it might be a technical glitch, a blip in the data. But as they investigated further, the evidence became undeniable. Something was leaking from the depths, something that had been trapped for millennia, now making its way into the frigid waters above, and it could change everything we know about our climate. This isn't just another story about melting ice or shifting glaciers. This is about a hidden force, a ticking time bomb beneath the ice that could accelerate climate change in ways we're only beginning to understand. For decades, scientists have warned us about the dangers of global warming, rising sea levels, and the melting of polar ice. But this new discovery adds a whole new layer of urgency, a wild card that could tip the balance and reshape our world. For years, researchers have watched Antarctica's icy waters, but recently, they picked up a strange signal, a mysterious substance leaking from the ocean floor. The story begins with a group of oceanographers and geologists, stationed on a research vessel off the Antarctic coast. Their mission, to monitor the health of the ice shelves and study the complex interactions between the ocean, the ice, and the atmosphere. Using state-of-the-art sonar and underwater cameras, they scanned the ocean floor, looking for signs of change. What they found was both unexpected and alarming. A plume of bubbles, rising steadily from a crack in the seabed, carrying with it a substance that had been locked away for thousands, perhaps millions of years. The team quickly realized that this was no ordinary leak. The composition of the material, the rate at which it was escaping, and the location, all pointed to a phenomenon that could have far-reaching consequences. Turns out it's not just water or mud. What's seeping out from beneath the ice is something far more potent, something that could alter the delicate balance of our planet's climate system. The researchers collected samples, analyzed the chemical makeup, and compared their findings with data from other parts of the world. The results were startling. This wasn't just a trickle of seawater or a patch of sediment disturbed by shifting ice. It was a concentrated release of gases, trapped beneath the ice for eons, now escaping into the ocean and, eventually, the atmosphere. We're talking about massive amounts of trapped gases, like methane, bubbling up from below. Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas, far more effective at trapping heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide. In the cold, dark depths beneath Antarctica, methane has been stored in the form of clathrates, ice-like structures that lock the gas away, keeping it stable as long as the temperature and pressure remain constant. But as the ice above melts and the pressure changes, these clathrates begin to break down, releasing methane in vast quantities. The sight is both mesmerizing and terrifying. Shimmering bubbles rising through the icy water, carrying with them the potential to accelerate global warming at a pace we've never seen before. Scientists estimate that the amount of methane stored beneath Antarctica could be enough to trigger a feedback loop, where warming leads to more methane release, which leads to more warming and so on, in a potentially unstoppable cycle. That's bad news, because methane can heat our planet much faster than carbon dioxide. To put it in perspective, over a 20-year period, methane is more than 80 times as effective as carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere. This means that even a small increase in methane emissions can have a dramatic impact on global temperatures. And unlike carbon dioxide, which can linger in the atmosphere for centuries, methane acts quickly, driving rapid changes in climate and weather patterns. The release of methane from beneath Antarctica isn't just a local problem, it's a global threat. One that could push our planet past critical tipping points and make it much harder to reverse the effects of climate change. As the ice melts from above, it's changing the pressure below, and that might be releasing even more gas. The process is complex, but the basic idea is simple. As the thick ice sheets that cover Antarctica begin to thin and retreat, the immense weight they once exerted on the ocean floor is reduced. This change in pressure destabilizes the methane clathrates, causing them to break apart and release their stored gas. It's a chain reaction set in motion by rising temperatures and melting ice that could unleash vast amounts of methane into the atmosphere. The more the ice melts, the more gas is released, and the faster the planet warms. A dangerous feedback loop that scientists are racing to understand, and if possible, prevent. If this keeps up, sea levels could rise faster, weather patterns could shift, and the world could face serious consequences. The potential impacts are staggering. As more methane is released, global temperatures could rise at an unprecedented rate, melting even more ice and causing sea levels to surge. Coastal cities around the world, from New York to Mumbai, from London to Shanghai, could find themselves underwater, their populations displaced by flooding and storm surges. Weather patterns could become more extreme and unpredictable, with heat waves, droughts, and hurricanes becoming more frequent and severe. Entire ecosystems could be disrupted, from the polar regions to the tropics, threatening countless species and putting human societies at risk. The economic costs could run into the trillions, and the social and political challenges could be even greater. This is not just a problem for scientists or policymakers, it's a challenge for all of humanity, one that demands urgent action and global cooperation. Scientists are racing to solve this Antarctic mystery, and we should all be paying attention. The work being done in Antarctica today is some of the most important scientific research of our time. Teams of experts from around the world are collaborating, sharing data, and developing new technologies to monitor the situation and predict what might happen next. They're drilling through miles of ice, deploying underwater robots, and analyzing samples in high-tech labs, all in a desperate bid to understand the forces at work beneath the ice. Their findings could help us develop strategies to mitigate the risks, adapt to the changes, and perhaps even prevent the worst-case scenarios from becoming reality. But time is running out. The window for action is closing, and the choices we make in the coming years will determine the fate of our planet for generations to come. So the next time you hear about Antarctica in the news, remember, this is not just a story about a distant frozen land. It's a story about our future, our survival, and the urgent need to protect the only home we've ever known.